A new film about the lives of three influential Vancouver activists and politicians will have its world premiere at the Vancouver Queer Film Festival. The festival begins today and runs until the 26th at several theaters in the city. Libby Davies, Ellen Woodsworth, and Mabel Elmore are the subjects of the film, and it's called Powerful Out Women on the Campaign Trail. Davies is an NDP MP, Woodsworth is a former Cope City Councillor, and Elmore is an NDP MLA. Angelina Cantada is the filmmaker behind the project. She also is Mabel Elmore's partner, and Angelina joins me now in studio. Good afternoon.
Hello. Thank you, Matthew, for inviting me to your show.
Well, thank you for coming in. What was it that drew you toward making a film about these three women in particular?
Well, this film for me is the most personal film I've ever done. I'd say I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and I grew up in the Philippines. I grew up in a very conservative, predominantly Catholic society, and I was very guarded about my sexual orientation all the time I was in the Philippines. So coming here to Vancouver, learning about these three women who are very successful in their fields and out lesbian politicians, to me was a very unique situation.
So how surprising was that to come to and see that you could be a public figure and an out woman at the same time?
I couldn't believe it at first. It's certainly not a possibility, I don't think, in the Philippines. But yeah, it was a very unique situation, I thought, and I just felt like I wanted to tell this story.
Is there something about Vancouver that allows out women, I suppose, to thrive in that kind of situation?
I asked that question to all three of them. It was a question I posed in the film, and they're all in agreement that Vancouver has a very nurturing environment. We've certainly created a context here in Vancouver that makes it a very safe place to be out, first and foremost, just to be out and be yourself and be successful in your career. So it could be in politics, it could be in business, entertainment, whatever it is. But Vancouver is certainly a very nurturing environment for queer people.
And what do you look at in the film?
The film is very inspiring and uplifting, I think. I want young people, especially young queer women like myself, when I was growing up, to have role models and to feel like they can be whoever they want to be without hiding or pretending to be someone else.
Mabel Elmore is your partner, so
Yes.
You know plenty about her. What did you learn about Libby Davies and Ellen Woodsworth while making this film?
It's amazing. My respect for them is just enormous because I realized through making this film that they are not politicians. They did not want to be politicians growing up, certainly. They never thought that they would be. But they are activists, first and foremost, and advocates. They have been fighting for many social justice issues for many years, Libby Davies for 35 years. And it was just a natural progression of their work. I think that being a politician now gives them a bigger platform to fight for these issues, to stand up for people who are voiceless. And it just gives them more resources and more ability to help out people that they've been helping all these years.
It's really interesting because one of the things that sometimes occurs to me is we never talk about. I haven't heard anyone discuss, Libby Davies as a politician in terms of being a lesbian. We talk about Libby Davies in terms of her politics and whether we like it or not or
Right.
whatever. And so maybe we often forget that. Do you think it's important that we care about the sexual orientation of our politicians or at least recognize it from time to time?
I like it here that we don't bother to even think about it. I really love that about Vancouver because in the Philippines, that's the first thing that you're going to hear. You hear the church and all the conservative groups are going to be up in arms, really. But I love it that we don't even bother thinking about that because like Libby says in the film, she is not just a lesbian. She is so many other things. And yeah, so I'm happy to celebrate that in the film.
Well, so then that's interesting. So what can we learn from the film then if in the grand social world it doesn't matter, at least in Vancouver, whether you're a lesbian or not and you're a politician, what can we learn from the film then about maybe other places in life where we could not care so much about what someone is and instead care about what they do?
I think the film, well, at least for me, the film taught me that I could be whatever I want to be. It doesn't matter what my sexual orientation is, but I just need to figure out what I want to do in life, be successful, be a contributing member of society, and focus on it, and I'll be successful.
After getting to know Libby Davies and Ellen Woodsworth and, of course, Mabel Elmore, is there any advice out there that either they would want to give or you to out women who are thinking of making more of a public life for themselves?
It's interesting that there are not a lot of queer women out there. I've done some research, and I've only come across a couple of people across Canada who are, and I'm not sure why not a lot of queer women dare to venture into politics. Maybe because they feel they could be just as effective in other areas. So it doesn't have to be politics. Like I said, Libby, Ellen, and Mabel never thought that they would be politicians, but they were just as effective in their previous work as well in different organizations. So it doesn't have to be politics, I don't think. We just need to be contributing members to society in whatever field we choose.
Is this your first film?
No, but interestingly enough, this is my first queer film. I've been doing this for almost 20 years since I was in the Philippines. I started in 1993. So yeah, I've done a few other short films here in Canada.
So it premieres tonight?
It premieres on Sunday.
Oh, on Sunday.
Yeah, the film festival opens tonight, but my film is going to screen on Sunday, August 19 at 5 o'clock.
And how are you feeling about it?
Oh, very excited. I'm very, very excited about this film. Like I said, it's a very personal film. And also, one interesting thing about it is that I wanted to include the partners in the film. And that for me was I didn't know till the day of the interview if the partners would agree to it. Because the partners are very, very private. And as you can tell, they are very supportive of their partners, but always prefer to stay in the background, right? So it was only on the day of the interview when they finally agreed.
And so we do get to meet Libby Davies' partner and Ellen Woodsworth's partner.
Yes, and for me, that was my favorite part of the film. It just had a very nice moment. You see a different side of these three politicians.
I look forward to this. Thank you very much, Angelina. Thank you for telling us about it.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Angelina Cantada is the filmmaker behind Powerful Out Women on the Campaign Trail. That screens at the Cineplex Odeon International Village Cinema on Sunday at 5 o'clock. It's part of the Vancouver Queer Film Festival, which begins today and runs until the 26th of August.